Hello, listeners. My attention have been drawn to this issue. I don't want to discuss about this issue, but then, of course, it becomes necessary that I have to contribute to this discussion that is going on about some hours or days away from today. The circumstances surrounding the IDP, the proposed uh, deployment or relocation of IDPs or movement of IDPs from the north down to the eastern part, precisely Imo State, has been, of course, going viral, and the purported burning of the facility by some undisclosed persons, of which the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has come to, of course, buttress his position about the supposed burning of the facilities, that this was intended to forestall any invasion or possible invasion by the Boko Haram's infiltrators who might deploy such means or take advantage of the movement of these uh, internally displaced persons to unleash mayhem on the indigenous people and the children and women of the eastern people. Well, that is not my area of concern. I was forced to speak after the president of the Arewa Consultative Forum or Youth Forum came to say that there's going to be war. There's going to be declaration of war if the Igbos reject the IDP camp in Imo State or the eastern states. Now, the question is, why is it that even without any serious provocation, you'll be calling for war? As if everybody is afraid of war. War has no respect of persons. I think the president of Arewa should be cautioned by these excesses. Why war? Does that call for war? You're going to declare war on who? What exactly is happening? I don't support, of course, the burning down of the facilities that was cited in Mbano, which was believed to be open university facility, which would have been beneficiary to the indigenous people of the eastern part, especially the communities, the host communities and environs. But then there are concerns. There's concerns of insecurity. There are concerns of infections and the raiding of communities, which of course is not strange. We have heard about several communities rounded up, killed, and reoccupied their various communities by the same military groups, just as what is happening just in Benue Agatu. This could have informed the reasons why people said we don't want the movement of these repented Boko Haram or pardoned Boko Haram or displaced in the uh, internally displaced persons, which of course the militias groups or the Boko Harams or these terrorists might infiltrate, using that as a cover to unleash mayhem on the people. You see, these are potential possibilities which cannot be overruled, citing the events and the circumstances unfolding before all asunder, which nobody can deny. There is uncertainty, there's apprehension, there is insecurity, there is anarchy. Even the security operatives have come out to say that they cannot guarantee the safety and security of Nigerians because they are not magicians. They can be everywhere at the same time. Just as the president cited in his uh, independence speech, that over 300 commanders of the Boko Haram or the insurgency has been gunned down, has been killed by the military. This is just a tip of an iceberg. So people across the entire region are apprehensive, are in the state of panic, uncertainty, and you don't have to blame them. For the people who say they don't want the IDPs, Boko Haram IDPs, which means the people displaced from the north to be conveyed down to the east because of the movement of this and the escalations, so that the terrorist sects might not infiltrate the region and begin to kill people overnight. People will wake up who went to bed, might wake with will be soaked in their own blood, and of course there will be casualties as usual, just being recorded in the part of Enugu, Ebony State, and of course in Imo State or Kiwe, where people are being attacked in the farms. Farmlands are being raided and destroyed by the cattle and the cows. You see the wanton destruction of life, kidnap, and adoption. I mean, all these things should, of course, give people some sense of caution, to apply cautions on in a time like this. We are in the most precarious and very delicate moment. So that should not call in the first instance for war. There is already war going on in the north. The indigenous people of the northern hemisphere have been displaced. You have not found out solutions or how to address this displacement of the indigenous communities of the northern hemisphere. And you are fanning an ember of war. You want to take the war to the east. You've not been able to address call the politicians and of course the traditional rulers. How do we find a lasting solution? It's an embarrassment to the entire north. The first war you fought, you have not recovered from it. You have lost the peace even in the north, and you are still fanning embers of war. Where in the entire northern, of course, uh, communal lifestyle and activities, economic activities have been widely, greatly disrupted, and you are still calling for war. Why is this tendency of war? War every time there will be war. There will be war. Uh, it seems this is somebody who uh, have not seen war will always be calling for war. Is that how to address the issues? The important thing should have been to call your attention to the immediate nagging needs to return these people to their communal settlements in the east. How do you solve the problem of insecurity, insurgency, invasions of communities, raiding by Boko Haram, bandits, and all that? It's been alleged, of course, of conspiracy of some northern political elites sponsoring uh, this insecurity. How do you solve the problem and get the entire northern hemisphere back, of course, to life, to restore the people that have been displaced? There is ever increasing, of course, displaced persons in the north, and the north has the highest landmark, and you are not thinking, why would this large expanse of land become a breeding ground for acts of terrorism, and of course a safe haven for terrorists and other military groups? You have not addressed your own war, the war that is between your legs, eating up, destroying the very, I mean, engulfing the entire resources of the northern region and, of course, the common treasury of the country. And you are fanning, you want war, you will declare war. I go and declare war now because you think anybody is afraid of war. The Eastern people are not afraid of war, but they are not calling for war. It does not call for war. They are not saying that the legitimate citizens from the northern hemisphere who are in the, oh, of course, in the Imo State should vacate. That is not what they're saying. You're not sending eviction notice. Of course, no Igbo man will want to do that because they are the widely and the most traveled. As people do say that Ojemba Enweiru, no Igbo man in his right senses would want to eject people, strangers in their own communities. Igbos are hospitable. Igbos love, I mean, they are very caring. They love strangers and they accommodate strangers. But this is an exceptional circumstances, which somehow, to a greater extent, you don't have to blame them because of the uncertainty. Even most of the uh, Western states, like Ondo or Oyo, have been invaded. People are crying. Some communities have fled because of occupations of the Fulani militias and other armed groups that have raided some communities and sacked them, the indigenous persons. So these are many more, and the state of the nation today, of course, inform the fears and apprehensions why people are now trying to uh, apply cautions and be security conscious of the environments and the activities going on within. You don't have to blame them to some greater extent. I think these are areas the government of Imo State should have went in to douse the tension and, of course, uh, to make sure that there is adequate information and sensitizations rather than overheating the policy because you cannot be fanning embers of war. Does what stop? I am not saying that the governments have the rights to, of course, take decisions. I remember when in my former secondary school, when they wanted to convert the place to uh, a tertiary institution, the community said no, they don't have land for that. Isn't that a development? But they rejected it. So there should be due consultations and, of course, clear informations and sensitizations on the part of the government when they want to embark on certain uh, programs and, of course, reforms so that the people will not misunderstood them. I think the government misrepresented their actions and people were not well carried out and sensitized. This could have informed the reason, you see, and the fears are already there of what is going on. So I don't subscribe to the fact that at every needless provocation, the North, the Arewa, we start shouting war, declare war, declare the war. Now, are you not at war? Is Nigeria, is the North not at war? The state of insecurity, of course, should give you source of worry and concern. State of emergency should have been declared in the entire northern hemisphere, and the entire northern politicians and traditional rulers should have been summoned and be questioned. Why is this state of insecurity still going on in the north? As rightly submitted by the ex uh, military president Abacha, he said that anywhere there is insecurity persists more than 24 hours is being sponsored by the states. State actors are involved. And you have not solved the problem, the poverty in the region, with the highest allocations being, of course, allotted to the north from the federal locations and other commissions. Northeast Commission, Northwest Commissions have not addressed these things. Focus on your, if I were to be the president, it's a challenge. Let's go back to the north and address the issue peculiar to the north. Because you can't set your house ablaze and you are chasing rats somewhere. Confront the problem. Tell yourself the truth. Be sincere and honest to yourself. Address your issues. Address the peculiar issues bothering the northern people. Except otherwise, you are happy and you are complicit to whatever is happening or benefiting from the unrest and insecurity in the north that have given you, or less concerned to discuss about the issue, the issues of great concern, of grave consequences. Is quite unfortunate. So you can't continue this rascality and think you're just chasing cloud. For me, you're just chasing cloud every time. Of course, it involves the Eastern people. You're declaring war, declaring war. Have they evicted anybody? They said no because of certain security uh, concerns and issues within the locality. They don't want that. What the government should do is to perhaps do the needful, sensitize and reorientate the people, and give them, assure them that uh, there could not be such a possible invasion. Otherwise, the people will not believe. Of course, the government has not even assured the people of tackling the state of insecurity today. Even the militaries are fed up. They are tired. The chief of army staff once said that except poverty and unemployment is solved, you can't solve the case of the issue of insecurity with the barrels of gun and bullets. I hope the government should listen to the chief of army staff and the chief of defense staff that the the fight against insurgency is 75 to 80% the responsibility of the executive by imbibing and entrenching good governance, accountability, and responsibility on the part of the politicians, executives that will address, create, be decisive in your policy formations and political will to ensure that those there is implementation of those policies and is being monitored to avoid siphoning of the public funds. If that is not done, so the state of insecurity will not go away. You are rather compounding the situation, thinking that with the barrels of gun and bullet you can solve the problem. Neither in the east, north, west, and south. The issue of security must be addressed by pulling out people from poverty. The more people are in poverty, the more people has less chances of survival. The more people, of course, lose hope and confidence in the system. The more, of course, they are pushed to, as of course, involve and indulge in other uh, demeaning activities, and of course, become easily ready to be adopted or recruited into miscreants and other, of course, uh, activities that will constitute nuisance to the society. So the government should be held responsible for the state of insecurity in the north, not just in the north, the entire eastern region, because they have failed in their primary essence, of course, of governance, which is the protection of life and property and making life more uh, better. I mean, capturing the welfare, the well-being of the people should be the priority of any responsible government. So I think that is where this guy is getting it wrong. So stop fanning the embers of war because you can't uh, you can't execute this war. You can't. This war is not just. You can't just want to fight the people and they keep quiet. If you take the war to them, of course they will be there to defend themselves. So you should rather confront issues holistically, attempts to address what is important and stop chasing shadows because that can take you anywhere. There are more problems to confront, I mean, to solve, rather than trying to escalate and create more problems that is needless. Let's know what is your own take regarding this development and, of course, these topical issues. Bye. Thank you. Elementary Debo. Thanks for watching. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to Call with TV as we continue to bring your way, of course, in-depth analysis and uh, breaking news. Bye for now. Good night.